Welcome to another branches lecture. I'm Tharin Chandrasekara. Today I will be conducting the lecture along with Nethwin Dharmaratne.
Hi, Malis.
We two are senior members of the club Wilderness and Wildlife Protection Society of Royal College. Nethwin, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, Malis. Good evening. First of all, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. So we will be conducting today's lecture for you all.
So today we will be talking about deadly creatures of Australia. So Mali, here's the content. First, we will be introducing who the deadly creatures are, then examples, and so on. Nethwin?
Malis, so Australia is known for its rich biodiversity and known for its deadly creatures such as spiders. It actually has the most venomous spider in the world. Anybody know the most venomous spider in the world? The name?
Tarantula.
Excuse me, Mali.
No, is it the tarantula?
No.
Funnel web spider?
Yes, it's the Sydney funnel web spider. It's actually in Australia. Australia is also home to the most venomous snake in the world. Anybody know who the most venomous snake in the world is?
Coastal taipan.
It's the inland taipan actually, but good. And Australia is also home to some venomous snails, birds, and bees. Also home to the saltwater crocodile, sharks, a lot of sharks, and the most venomous creature in the whole world out of all the animals, being the box jellyfish. Yeah, so we'll move on to the examples for deadly creatures. Sorry.
Yeah. When taking examples for snakes, it's inland taipan, eastern brown snake, coastal taipan, tiger snake, big sea snake, death adder. And while you have shared the screen, so you all can see there's a lot of snakes when taking snakes as dangerous animals. And when here there are some deadly spiders. The most dangerous spider, the Sydney funnel web, then red black spider, and you all can see there's more.
Mali, actually, all these spiders and snakes are very, very venomous and deadly. Keep that in mind.
I guess wolf spiders are also there in Sri Lanka, right? Some subspecies.
Some subspecies are there, Mali, not all. So, for example, the Sydney funnel web spider is only found in Sydney, New South Wales area. Redback spider is also only found in Australia, but some subspecies are found in Sri Lanka also.
Let's move on to jellyfish. So there's box jellyfish, which is really venomous. It's the most deadly creature. And salt, obviously, all know crocodiles are dangerous. So there's saltwater crocodiles and freshwater crocodiles. And then there's sharks. Sharks are there's great white shark, tiger shark. Shark attacks are most abundant on the northern part of Australia. It's really famous for shark attacks. Let's move on to special facts about Australian creatures. Nethwin?
So, Mali, as we mentioned before, most of you already know that Australia is home to the most venomous snake in the world, the inland taipan. Also, the venomous spider in the world, the Sydney funnel web spider. Australia actually has the highest number of shark attacks in the whole world. So that's pretty scary. And it's home to the most venomous animal in the world, the box jellyfish. Anyone have any doubts about that, or shall we move on? Ali,
No doubt, right?
let's move on.
Yeah, so should we ever go to Australia?
Yes, Mali. So
Like
obviously,
with that kind of condition?
I mean, yes, most of these animals are wild animals. As
Not on the city area.
very rarely there are spiders and snakes. We'll get to that during the lecture. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
As long as you all protect yourselves, it shouldn't be a problem. Good question.
Okay, so let's move on. These are Australia's deadliest animals. You can see. You can go through the pictures and the names. There is box jellyfish also.
Mali, as you all can see, the box jellyfish has a venomous rating of 10 out of 10, which means obviously it is the most deadliest. Do you all see anything shocking about this picture, Mali? So there are snakes and all, but actually the second most deadliest animal in Australia is a honeybee. So that is kind of unique about that. Any questions regarding this? Any doubts?
Why are they the venomous, the most poisonous type of animal in Australia?
Mali, could you repeat that again?
Why are they like the most poisonous type? I've been like bitten by honeybees. Like, is there a specific type in Australia that's venomous?
So that jellyfish possesses a high amount of venom in their glands and tentacles. Yeah. So if a human accidentally touches it,
No,
and
I mean the honeybee.
honey, it's, I think the sting force is packs a lot of venom or poison in it, as far as we researched.
How can the cassowary be a deadliest creature?
Cassowary, it's a large bird, so basically I think they are very aggressive towards humans. They get started very quickly, so they choose to attack really quickly. Like they are very aggressive animals. I think that is the reason why they are so deadly. They don't possess any venom glands, nothing like that. They are just stronger. They have sheer strength and all, and speed. Yeah.
Yeah, and is the
Have
bird
killed
eating
people,
tarantula
right?
the biggest?
Cassowaries with their like legs. They have those claws. They hit you with it.
Sorry, could you repeat that question, Malik?
In Australia, there was like a record of an cassowary hitting like a kid who was like hitting rocks at the cassowary.
I am not sure about that, Malik. Sorry.
Okay. Like Steve Irwin said it, I think.
Steve Irwin. Okay. So Mali, any question?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear.
Yeah. Is the bird eating tarantula the biggest tarantula in the world?
No. Actually, I think the biggest tarantula in the world is Good question, Mali. Very good question. It's not this bird-eating tarantula. It's a Goliath. There's a different species called Goliath bird-eating tarantula, which is slightly bigger than the normal bird-eating tarantula, which we find in Australia.
Thank you all.
We'll continue then, Tharin.
Okay, so now we can talk about the distribution ranges of these specific animals. So Mali, we are specifically going to talk about 5 creatures: snakes, sharks, crocodiles, spiders, and yeah. So distribution ranges of snakes. Mali, you all can refer this map. Considering the distribution ranges, snakes are mostly available on Western Australia and Northern Australia. Then Queensland, South Austria, New South Wales, and so on. Nethwin?
So Mali, spiders. Most spiders are found. Almost all the spiders are found everywhere in Australia. We can see them in domestic environments as well as the wildlife. But the most venomous spider in the world, the Sydney funnel web spider, is only found in New South Wales. Yeah, Satmal Pereira, you have raised your hand.
Is every kind of species found in Australia?
No,
No.
not all species are found in Australia.
Like each and every one species?
No, not each and every species.
Most of them?
Yeah, most of them.
Okay.
Malik, let's talk about crocodiles. There are 2 types of crocodiles, as saltwater and freshwater crocodiles. Saltwater crocodiles are mostly found near lagoon areas. In Australia, they are found in the northern coast of Australia. Freshwater crocodiles, they are found in the western Australia and Queensland. Nethwin?
Yeah, Mali. So this particular jellyfish, we will be focusing on the box jellyfish as it is the most deadliest creature in the whole world. They are found from Western Australia all around Queensland and yeah, all around this. Mali, you can see the blue line, right? And that's where most of the box jellyfishes are found. And another species, Irukandji jellyfish, which is the 3rd most deadliest jellyfish in the world, is also found in these areas, from Exmouth, Western Australia to Queensland. So, Tharin, let's move on.
Distribution ranges of sharks. So the grey reef shark is found along the northern coast of Australia and also hunts along the Great Barrier Reef. Can you continue?
Yes, man. Actually, Mali, as you can see, Australia has a lot of shark population, mostly known for the great white shark, the tiger shark, the hammerhead shark. So all of these sharks are found all around Australia, but the zebra sharks, these unique sharks like zebra sharks, live along the northern and eastern coastlines of Australia. All the tiger sharks especially can be found in the eastern, western, northern coast of Australia. Great white sharks can be found all around. So Mali, any questions or? I'll take that as a no. So we'll move on, Tharin.
Habitats of these creatures. Nethwin will be explaining habitats.
So Mali, so we'll be focusing on the snake habitat first. Most Australian snakes habitats are forests, deserts, swamps, domestic. You can find them in households also, domestic environments, rocky areas, even sea snakes in coral reefs. We can find them, and grasslands. So almost all of the landscapes, snakes can be found. Spiders and bees are seen all near domestic households mainly, mostly spiders and forests. So it is very common to see spiders and bees near your house or inside your house. So you have to be very careful. The Australian jellyfish are found in the warm coastal waters. They are not. They rarely are seen in the deep sea. They always want to be near the beach, near the coastline. The sharks, you can find all these different types of sharks, some in the shallow seas, some in the deep seas, some on the coral reefs. The bull shark lives in the lake. Their habitat is the lake, fresh water, and the deep ocean floor, some rare sharks. And crocodiles, as you all can see, as we taught you all, the saltwater crocodile obviously lives in the marshy lands, swamps. The freshwater crocodile lives in rivers, freshwater. And some can be seen near the coastal beaches, near the surface. Any questions? Or Mali, if you all have any questions, raise your hands.
No questions, sir.
Okay, let's move. Also, if you all have any questions, just keep your hand raised. We'll answer them later. If you all have any questions later, if you okay. Yeah.
Behavior towards human and feeding. Although they are when taking snakes, although they are venomous, all snakes aren't aggressive. That's for sure. In fact, snakes are very scared because they are smaller than humans. So when they encounter humans, snakes act in three ways: fight, flight, or crypsis. Crypsis means that when a snake feels threatened by a human or any other bigger animal, it chooses to stay still until they feel no threat. Y'all got it right, Mali?
Yeah, so is it like playing dead?
Sorry, Mali?
Yeah, is it like playing dead or something?
Yeah, kind of.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mali. So crypsis means basically these snakes lie still when they, like, for example, if they see a human and they don't want to attack, they'll just stay still without moving on the ground till they get a chance to flee.
Yeah. Yeah, and there are some snakes that just turn upside down, right? Like hog noses and all.
Yeah.
They turn,
So
just
that's
like
also a form of
And Indian rat snakes do that too.
exactly. Yeah, very good. So that's also
yeah. That's different, right? Like hog noses and those snakes, they like just flip upside down and pretend to be dead. That's different.
Hognoses bleed from their mouth too.
yes, Mali. So that is also a form of crypsis. So they act dead. They don't want to attack or flee. They just act dead. They want to mind their own business. That's basically what's happening there. That's also a form of crypsis. I hope you got your answer.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So Mali, the other two methods snakes use to evade is obviously fight, which means attack. As soon as the snake feels threatened, they choose to bite, spit venom, or even suffocate you if possible. And flight. Anyone of you guess what flight response is?
That's just basically just
Staying
running
away
away.
from the threat.
That's just where they just flee from the threat
Exactly.
without doing anything.
Exactly. Very good. So snakes mainly feed on rats, frogs, small birds, and sometimes on other snakes. Sometimes, very rarely. Yeah, that's their main diet. We'll move on, Tharin.
Behavior of spiders and their feeding. Just like venomous snakes, venomous spiders are also very defensive. The majority of the venomous spiders don't bite humans at all. You all might know that because if
So spiders only choose to bite humans if a human does something very stupid, like try to touch the spider and break the web or something like that. Other than that, they mind their own business. They do not choose to bite humans.
most spiders feed on other small insects, and fellow spiders they eat their own kind. That's kind of rude, right? And cannibalism is a very common in the spiders feeding
Excuse
pattern.
me, Aya.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, all spiders are cannibalistic except huntsmen's, right?
Yes, Mali. That's correct.
Thank you, Aya.
Are there any questions, or shall we move on? Okay, then let's move on.
Mali,
Yeah.
before we
Excuse me, yeah.
Yes, Malik.
Can a snake that is it's small in size eat like a dead carcass that's already there, like a dead cow, maybe?
it depends on the size, Mali. So the bigger the snake, the bigger he can, the bigger the animal he can prey on. So most small snakes generally do not eat cows, carcasses of cows and such. They choose to stick with small diets like rats and all. But the anaconda, python, people, and the snakes like that, they sometimes feed on carcasses, big carcasses such as cows, even some crocodiles maybe. Yeah, did that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Mali, also, if you all have any information that you want to say regarding the topics, please do tell us. It's very educational and knowledgeable to all of us. Yeah, let's move on.
Jellyfish. Jellyfish do not intentionally attack humans. Most jellyfish incidents are caused by accident when swimmers contact them in the sea. Jellyfish feed on plankton and etc., especially small fish, because all the jellyfishes are small in size. Only a few of them are large in size. The box jellyfish is kind of large. He's a big one. And yeah.
Excuse me, Aya.
Yes, Malik?
Can we like die by jellyfish stings?
Yeah, can, if the jellyfish, that kind of jellyfish is not that venomous or not venomous. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So, for instance, Mali, this box jellyfish, if you accidentally touch him or get in contact with him, there is a very, very, very high chance that you will die because because they possess a lot of venom in them. So it actually depends on whether the amount of venom the jellyfish has. Yeah.
Sharks. Nethwin?
Yes, man. So most sharks generally do not. They just disregard the human's presence and feel unthreatened by us. Shark attacks occur when the shark usually misidentifies humans as seals or other types of food. So And yeah, and when they are hungry, they do tend to misidentify us as seals a lot. That's why shark attacks happen. So the main diet of sharks are seals, manta rays, crabs, tuna, small fish, and such. Mainly seals. Have you all ever seen in TV a shark attacking a seal? Or
No.
it's very scary. You would human wouldn't want to be a part of that. Anyway, Tharin, continue.
Yeah, so what makes these creatures so dangerous? Let's talk about this then. Snakes. The defensive nature of the animal is really high, and the snakes are like really fast. Y'all might have seen snakes. Like they're like really fast, and the most scariest, they possess venomous glands. A graphic from Bill Gates' blog posted in 2014 estimates that the venomous snakes kill 50,000 people per year. 50,000 people every year. That's a lot. And that's not all, because in rural areas, even though people die due to snakes bites or something, they don't count because the census doesn't count the rural areas mostly. Okay, Mali? Any questions? Okay, then let's. Spiders. Spiders possess venomous glands, and the defensive nature of these animals is really high. The funnel web spider have a fearsome reputation. People bitten by these Australian suffer extreme pain, breathing problems, confusion, and different diseases. The venom they presume evolved to help the spider kill their prey, normally insects. Killing mammals was either just collateral damage or a form of protecting against possible predators. Any questions, Malia, regarding spiders?
No.
Excuse me, are you?
Nethwin, would you like to continue?
Maldi, did somebody ask a question?
Yeah. So, how many species of tarantulas are there in Australia?
Maldi, you're a bit unclear. Could you please repeat that question again?
How many species of tarantulas are there in Australia?
How many species of tarantulas are there in Australia?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think
It's 7 species, I think.
yes, I think it's 6 or 7 species if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it's actually Australia has 7 species of tarantula.
Thank you, Aya.
Let's move on to jellyfishes, Mali.
Mali, if
Jellyfishes.
one person asks a question and another student also has the answer, please do put it in the chat box or say it.
Okay, so jellyfish, they also possess venomous glands, and jellyfish are responsible for 15 times more deaths each year than sharks. 15 times more deaths each year than sharks. At around 150 to 300 deaths per year. The Australian box jellyfish is considered the most venomous marine animal. We have talked about it. Any questions regarding jellyfish? Okay, then let's move on. Sharks. Australia has the world's highest diversity of sharks and rays, including roughly 180 of the 109 unknown shark species. Australia's coastal waters are home to all three of the big three deadly species, the white shark, tiger shark, and the bull shark. They are the most deadliest sharks. Kemali?
And all three sharks are found in Australia. So yeah, beware if you are trying to swim there.
They are mostly found in the northern part of Australia.
Aya, where can we find a lemon shark?
Sorry, Mali?
Aya, where can we find a lemon shark?
Shark. Nethwin, do you know the answer for it? Because I'm not sure.
Leopard sharks can be found in the Eastern Pacific Ocean. So yes, rarely you can see them in Australia, rarely, very rarely. But mostly near and stuff. Yeah. Yes, Mali?
Is there cookie cutter sharks in Australia?
Mali, not clear, Mali.
Cookie cutter sharks?
I'm
Cookie
actually,
cutter sharks.
good question, Mali. I'm actually not sure about that answer.
Aya, what I meant was lemon shark.
Yeah, so leopard sharks can be found in the Eastern Pacific Ocean, Mali. So mostly
No.
near
No, Aya, lemon shark.
lemon shark.
Yeah.
Lemon shark, I think you can find in Australia also, but very rarely do you find lemon sharks in Australia. Any other questions?
Yes, Mali. Lemon sharks can be found in Australia, Madagascar, Myanmar, New Guinea. Those are the countries where lemon sharks can be found. And also India. They can be found mostly in the Indian Ocean. The countries in the Indian Ocean. Any questions?
Yeah, it's not about sharks. It's about jellyfish. How many species of jellyfishes are there in Sri Lanka?
Sorry, Mali.
How many species of jellyfishes are there in Sri Lanka?
How many species of jellyfish are there in Sri Lanka? Nethwin, would you like to answer?
There are about 50 species of jellyfish near in Sri Lankan waters, Mali. That's a lot.
Are they venomous?
Some are not. So the box jellyfish isn't found in. So for example, the box jellyfish, the Australian, the most deadliest jellyfish in the world is not found in Sri Lanka. It's always near northern Australian waters. So,
Okay.
Aya, are there any reports of 11 sharks found in Sri Lanka?
as I know, I don't think so, Mali.
Mali, when talking about lemon sharks, they are mostly extinct now.
So yeah, very rarely do you hear about lemon sharks. Any other questions, Mali? No,
Okay.
I don't take this. No, Tharin,
Aya,
Yes, Mali.
Aya, how do you tell the age of a shark?
that's a good question. Very, very good question. Who was that again?
Mali, you can keep your questions till the end. We'll answer you.
Yeah, and keep the question. If you all can keep the questions related to the main topic. So we are focusing on the deadly creatures of Australia and keep that in that aspect. I think also Maldi, who asked that last question? The shark's age question. That Maldi must have been disconnected. Anyway, you can actually find that answer. I think we had a lecture, Branches lecture, regarding sharks few weeks back. The YouTube video is there, so you can go find the answer there. Yeah.
I think in Australia, there have been records of in Queensland, North South Wales, and Tasmania, and Western Australia. For that question, for the cookie cutter shark that lives in Australia.
Mali, we didn't get your question. Is it
It's not a question. For the cookie cutter shark question, I think in Australia there have been records in Queensland, New South Wales, Tasmania, and Western Australia.
Which shark are you talking about, Mali?
cookie cutter shark? Yeah, that is actually true, Mali. Good information, good to know. Also, Mali, if anyone has information like that regarding this topic, please do raise your hand and tell it to us. It's good knowledge. Let's move on, Tharin.
Okay, we talked about sharks. Crocodiles. The crocodiles are one of the most dangerous species of Australia. You all might have seen crocodiles attacking different kinds of animals like zebras, giraffes, and all. Have you all seen rhinos?
Yes, Aya.
Yeah. Crocodiles kills estimately 1 or 2 people per year. So even the crocodiles are mostly available in the northern part of Australia. You can see this map, Mali. So there's 2 types of crocodiles, as we said, the freshwater crocodiles and the salty. Shall we move on, or do you all have any questions regarding crocodiles?
Aya, do we also have freshwater and salty crocodiles?
We do, Mali.
Okay.
So Mali, as you can see that the map of Australia, the red strip, that's where the saltwater crocodiles and freshwater crocodiles are mostly found. Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, do the saltwater crocodiles get bigger than the freshwater?
Yes, Mali.
Is there a reason for it?
No specific reason that we know of, but saltwater crocodiles are generally more deadlier and dangerous than freshwater crocodiles. Yeah. Let's move on. So how to protect ourselves from these creatures? We'll talk about snakes and spiders first. So mostly you'll see snakes out when you do outdoor activities such as hiking and all. So always wear long pants and wear boots when hiking to protect your feet and legs from a potential bite. And if you see a snake or spider, please do not try to kill or disturb the animal. It will provoke the animal, which is the worst thing to do. The animals also want to mind their own business. So if you disturb him, he is more likely to attack. So when you're in the outdoors and you're trying to pick up a rock or say firewood or something, please do check before picking it up, because these are uh, snakes and spiders really enjoy the shade provided by the rocks and all, and they love to they love to be around the rocks and sticks. So please double check before picking up rocks, sticks, firewood, etc. And yeah, that's about it. Let's move on to the next slide, Tharin. Yes, so sharks. Mostly, Mali, shark attacks very rarely occur, as I said, when the shark misidentifies humans as seals. But if you are going for a sea swim or a sea swim, please always do swim in groups whenever possible, because a lot of sharks tend to identify their prey when they are attack their prey when they are alone. And do not swim too far from the shore, for obvious reasons. And as you all might have heard, you should not ever enter the water if you're bleeding, because sharks have an amazing sense of smell. They can smell blood from 2 kilometers away, I think. And always check for warning signs, ask the lifeguards before swimming and entering the waters. So those are the basic ways of how to protect yourself from a shark attack. We move on to the next slide.
Any questions, Mali, regarding sharks or attacks or anything?
Can tiger sharks come to the shore?
Normally they will stay in the waters, but they do sometimes tend to come near the shore.
Are there sharks in Sri Lanka?
Yes,
there are sharks.
Are the sharks the fastest swimmers?
No, the shark isn't the fastest swimmer. The fastest swimmer, I think, is the yellowfin tuna. Yeah. Any other questions?
This question isn't about sharks. Is it okay?
Yeah, Mali.
It's about jellyfish. Like, what is the biggest species of jellyfish?
I think it's the Portuguese man o' war. You rarely see it. It's really, really big and long. It's, I think, the longest creature in the world. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but yeah, that's the largest species of jellyfish.
Okay, thank you.
Good question.
Mali, someone asked about the speed of sharks. Mali, the fastest fish is the sailfish, and the average speed of sharks is about 50 kilometers per hour. The average speed.
Yes, man. So that's why you don't swim too far from the shore, because sharks are pretty fast. Yeah, let's move on, Tharin.
Aya, is it true that sharks attracted to vibration?
I think it is, Tharin.
Sorry,
They are
Malia.
certainly
Like
attracted to blood, the smell of
panic
blood.
moves?
Yes, Mali. Actually, the sharks are attracted to vibration, blood vibration. They are attracted to those stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, good question again.
I think when some people see the great white shark's fin, they get scared and start to move, and I think that's the reason they think, and the shape of the surfboard of a surfer is equal to a seal or something. I think that's why sharks attack to humans or surfers.
Yes, Mali. That's one reason. Yeah, good explanation. Tharin, shall we move on to
Okay.
the slide?
Crocodiles. Nethwin, are you going to talk about it?
Yeah. So the main thing is, if you encounter crocodile, for obvious reasons, stay as far away from it as possible. Because obviously crocodiles are way stronger than humans. And avoid startling or surprising the animal. Just stay still at all times, and always keep your eyes on the animal. Always maintain eye contact. Don't take your eyes off, because crocodiles are surprisingly very fast. Um, if it decides to attack you, you always should punch it in the nostrils, throat, or eyes, because those are the most sensitive parts of the crocodile's bodies. And yeah, before you hike or swim or do whatever, please check for warning signs. If there is a danger crocodile sign nearby, stop whatever you're doing. And yeah, let's move on then. Any questions regarding that, or shall we move on?
Let's move on. Nanda.
Let's move on then.
Yeah, Satmar Pereira has a question, I think.
Yes, Malia.
A person named Satmar Pereira raised his hand, so I thought he has a question.
Yes, Satmar, do you have a question? I think he's having some technical difficulties. Do put your questions in the chat box if there's any issue with the mic. Yeah, let's move on, Tharin.
Jellyfish. So Mali, jellyfish, they are common Mali. Most of the jellyfishes are not venomous. They can be found in the shallow seas also. So even in the Mataragal side, jellyfishes can be found in beaches such as Polhena. When I've seen jellyfishes in Polhena. So avoid swimming during jellyfish season. The jellyfish season is from October, November and April, May. There are protective suits to be protected from jellyfish, and you can ask the lifeguards whether jellyfishes are present in the beach before going.
Yes, Mani. So actually in Australia, during this jellyfish season, they actually enclose the ocean so people can swim only in that range because jellyfish are very, very abundant and you do not want to touch them even accidentally because of obvious reasons. Yeah, let's move on, Tharin.
Any questions regarding jellyfish? Amita, do you have a question?
Yeah. So we can use subway surfers. No, sorry. Sometimes, divers use the chain metal shark suit to protect these divers from blue shark test bites. So we can also use that to protect ourselves from shark attacks.
Yes, ma'am.
Nethwin, you're muted.
Sorry. Methindu has asked the question why do you need to wear lotions? Those lotions protect us from the jellyfish tentacles. So even if we accidentally touch it, you won't it won't sting you at all. So that's why you use lotions, protective lotions. It's specifically made for jellyfish venom and all. Yeah, good question, Nitin. Let's move on then. Yes, Malik. So honeybee, as you all saw before, Australia, the second most deadliest animal in Australia is the honeybee, and obviously you do not want to disturb or cause any damage to the beehive, because then uh, the whole lot of bees will try to obviously sting you. Always keep a distance from the beehive. Do not try and touch the beehive for whatever reason.
Yeah, will the bee sting us? Won't the bee sting us if we don't disturb them?
There is no reason for the bee to sting us if we won't disturb them. Obviously, the bee will only try and sting us for self-defense. So, yeah.
Excuse me, Aya.
Yeah, are the snakes same?
Yes, Mali. So all of these creatures, all of these deadly creatures are not aggressive at all. They are just defensive. They want to protect themselves.
Even sharks.
Yes, even sharks.
Excuse
Sharks
me, Aya.
actually,
Excuse me, Aya.
yeah.
Aya, like a bee doesn't really sting if it's alone, right? They only sting if you bother the colony, right? So
Exactly,
to protect the queen and the colony, like because like I like seen bees like once I was just walking in the garden and there was a bee like it had fallen and I just went right by it and it just got all defensive, but it didn't really try to sting or anything.
Yes,
it just acted a little aggressive because the colony wasn't near, like it had like come to like take some pollen or something. So since the colony wasn't there, it wasn't too aggressive. Like they only like if like you accidentally go by the colony and accidentally disturb it, only they sting because like they just want to protect the queen and the whole hive more than themselves. That's why they die after stinging.
Exactly, Mali. So as Rithira, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, as he explained, the bees do not attack when they are alone. They always attack with the colony. And yeah, good explanation. Very knowledgeable. Let's move on. Tharin. Yes, Somali. We found these creatures in Australia. They are not as deadly, but very unique. Most of them are only found in Australia. So we decided to include this. As you all can see, very creepy creatures like the giant centipede, which is very venomous, not deadly, but very venomous. The Australian earthworm, just like a regular earthworm, but way bigger. The bulldog ant, very aggressive animal, the bulldog ant. And the wasps and the spiders, all very unique animals in Australia, who are very unique looking and very different from the ordinary. So
How can we differently find out the Australian redback and the New Zealand cattipo? Like they look like the same.
So I think one is found in Australia and the other is found in New Zealand. So yeah, that's the answer. That's why the names have the Australian redback spider and the New Zealand spider. Because one is only found in New Zealand, one is found in Australia. That's how you identify it from the
Yeah, but like the DNA kind of things don't match, right?
As far as I know, I don't think
like from the two countries.
No, I don't think so. Tharin, do you know the answer for that? Because I am not that sure. Good question, Malik.
I'm not sure about the answer, my friend.
Yeah, we'll try and find out and put it in the chat box in a bit. We'll move on, Tharin. Yes, so Malli, this is from deaths in Australia by animals between 2008 and 2017. You all see anything shocking in this slide, in this graph?
That horses and cows cause the most number of deaths.
Exactly. So the most deaths, 70 deaths have occurred from horses, cows, and whatnot. So these animals we do not find threatening usually, but has caused the most deaths. So that is very
the thing like the second one, 60 deaths, like the mammals, does it include humans as well?
I think it does. Yeah, it does.
Okay, thank you.
But, Mali, you all can see here why the Australian bees are known as the second most deadliest. It's because they kill 27, which is the third highest based on this chart. So yeah, that's why they're deadly. Then you can see the sharks, the snakes, crocodiles, and yeah, that's it. So that is very unique to know that horses and cows cause the most deaths and not snakes and sharks.
Yeah, what do you mean by animal transport?
Animal transport, I think, is I'm not that sure. Tharin, could you answer that question?
Sorry, Mali, what was the question?
What is meant by animal transport in the
Mali? It's just this Mali, like for different functions, we transport animals. Have you all seen, like for Perharas and all, the elephants get transported from Kotte to Mahanur and stuff.
Yes.
So during this transportation, like while they are transporting these animals, they can cause harm to human.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's move on, Tharin. So Malli, so we discussed a lot about the deadly creatures, snakes, spiders, and all. Their importance has three main parts. So we decided to keep it short and sweet. The three why they're important is number one, these animals help maintain balance in the ecosystem. For example, snakes. These snakes, their main diet is rats and other small creatures. You all know rats uh, spread diseases and reproduced a lot. So as the rat's predator, the snake helps maintain balance in the ecosystem. Also, again, we can the second point is helps avoid overpopulation of other animal species. Again, the snake rat analogy. And the third reason is they act as a food source for other creatures. So, for example, hawks love to eat snakes. So, if snakes weren't there, that means hawks don't one major food source of them is gone. So always have to remember that these animals act as a food source to other animals also. So those are the three main reasons of why they are very important to the environment. Yeah. And yeah, we continue.
Any questions, Mali?
I don't think so. Let's move on, Tharin. Yes, Mali. We also always should remember that these animals, we should not kill any of them. They are deadly, but they are beautiful in their own way. They play a huge role in balance of the ecosystem. We should not harm them. And that concludes our presentation.